All right, so today is interesting. The shares of NVIDIA down slightly, but shares of Advanced Micro are coming on really, really strong. And suddenly, there are whispers that AMD has made huge strides, significant strides toward the chip king, so much so that reports are saying that Jensen and company have to go back to the lab with this Rubin chip. This is the one after Blackwell to match the AMD 1450. I know the business world is like the animal kingdom, but this really seems improbable to me. It does remind me, though, when I was in the 4th grade living in Okinawa, Japan, I saw a Habu mongoose fight. You know, we went to the fair, and at the time I thought nothing could beat a king cobra. Nothing could beat a king cobra. So you can imagine I was shocked when this mongoose beat this most venomous snake in the world. I had nightmares about it for weeks. I felt the sort of similar way, too, a sort of similar shock when I learned that orcas are hunting great white sharks and eating their liver. So could NVIDIA be the great white shark? Joining me now, Defiance ETF CEO, CIO, Sylvia Jablonski. Sylvia, I know NVIDIA got an upgrade today. The earnings are coming out next week, so maybe Wall Street's not as concerned. But listen, I remember when AMD could not beat Intel, right? This is about 15 years ago, and I used to feel sorry for them. They crushed Intel. I mean, maybe they have NVIDIA in their sights.
Yeah, maybe. Good afternoon, Charles. I think, you told a good story here with your introduction. The problem is that NVIDIA has been doing this for so long, right? They are the chip that people use to charge the AI models. They're kind of like the engine for a race car, and everyone else is kind of catching up to try to get to the bar that NVIDIA has set here. And so I think it's going to be difficult because as they have shifted from gaming to AI, everyone is now doing the same years later, and they're on to the next thing. And so it'll be tricky to catch them. But all of the companies you mentioned, I think have massive growth prospects in AI just because of the growth of the entire macro AI infrastructure.
Right. So the pond itself or the ocean itself is big enough for more than just one shark or one more orca, right? Exactly. Because I was reading this morning an AI chip startup looking for $500 million again. They designed GPUs. They want to go after NVIDIA. But for now, it doesn't matter. The space is just large enough for everyone.
I think the space is large enough for everyone, but I think that it would be wise to think about where you're structuring your opportunities. For example, legal AI, infrastructure AI, aerospace and defense, government, things like this. There are parts of the AI market that are not talked about as much as machine learning and training models and quantum computing and things like this. So I think there are different pockets of the market to tap. And then you have to think that some of these smaller companies, if they have some success, they end up getting gobbled up by some of the larger players that we were talking about before.
So I got to get your thoughts. A lot of speculation right now, US-China, this big trade deal. We had the H20s, the government getting 15% of that, but also who wins more out of this, AMD, NVIDIA. Talk to us about the big beneficiaries of this deal, of a potential deal.
Yeah, I think it remains to be seen. We've just heard so much news around the chip space. There was this talk about if they have some sort of domicility in the U.S., perhaps they aren't subject to tariffs. And, now we kind of see this coming through. So I think it depends, if these companies can outsource and export their chips to China, obviously that's a massive TAM that exists for them. But then you might have other players that are growing locally and building out, investing in the U.S., like Taiwan Semiconductor and Intel, that may benefit as well from different types of government subsidies. So we have to see how this all plays out. It seems to change on a weekly basis. So it's just something we'll have to keep an eye on. But the two companies we mentioned, it seems like they could pay the pass for playing. So
I started this off with the animal kingdom sort of meets creative destruction, right? Software as a service, the SaaS, these stocks are getting annihilated. We've got a table behind us. Yeah. Absolutely annihilated. They're like the penguins sitting on the edge of these icebergs, right? With all the AI sharks lurking around. Are they oversold, or is this just, one of the realities of AI, just their first victim?
I think it's a little bit of both, right? I think that some of these companies could actually implement AI and offer a better product for their end consumer and then get a tailwind essentially from doing something like that, right? Like we've seen over the years that some of these companies have adapted their models and have adapted their offerings and things like this, and they're starting to benefit from that. But I think right now, what is the shiny, toy in the room really is the AI trade. So
the AI trade. I mean, do you have some new names on your list at all? I mean, we've talked. You were ahead of the curve, and I give you props every time you come on. I'm looking for something new.
Yeah, I mean, I think like just staying on the same topic, but something new is thinking about all of the energy names that go into AI. You need something to power all of this, right? So you're going to have some of these niche, energy and utility companies, some of the broad-based energy companies that we know about, like the, kind of like the Vistas, the Genovas, the different, Camcos and things like this. I mean, I think that you're going to have to power all of this, and so I think that there's a potential tailwind for some of the AI, kind of power utility types of plays there.
Good stuff, Sylvia. Always appreciate you. Power is where it's all at.